Welcome guys, and in today's video I'm going to be tattooing my leg, and I want to take you guys through the process to show you how that went. Now this is a longer video, but I'm going to be jumping in and out at the bottom of the screen explaining what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments. I do my best to reply to those, and if you guys are ready to do that, then let's go. So as you can see, this is the stencil I was using for this piece. Here I'm using an 11 curved bug pin magnum to just fill in this black. I don't line this at all. I'm literally just using the mag and going and filling in the black. A lot of this helicopter is just black. There's some light shading on top of it here and there, but we don't do that till the very end. So again, right now, we're just putting that black in everywhere that it needs to be black. And like I've said before, it's a common theme for me. I like a lot of black in my work, so I like to pump that in first, and it helps hold it while I go back and shade stuff and do all various things like that. Underneath of my leg, I have two rolls of paper towels, plastic wrapped together, and then a dental bib on top to add a little comfort while I was tattooing my leg. But I'm telling you, holding your leg in this position hurts after hours. In fact, my hip hurt worse than the tattoo by far. And here, I'm using that magnum on its side to run pretty much a line. So I'm trying to show you guys that you don't necessarily have to use a liner all the time. You can manipulate your tools to do what you want them to do. Now lines are important because they keep things held together, but in this case it's all black. And I kind of treat this magnum like a liner by running it on its side to get crisp sections. When it comes to packing in black, or any color for that matter, take your time. When you try to rush it and try to fill in this much area, quickly, it's gonna be blotchy, it's gonna be light, you're gonna be hearing like, why is the ink falling out? Take your time, put it in right the first time. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but that's kind of how it's done when you're packing in a solid color. So, yeah. Now back here, I'm going around those light spots, those highlighted areas, again with the mag on its side, pretty much sculpting that area so I know, hey, we're not filling this area in black, we'll go around it, and that's pretty much what I'm doing right here. And if you go around everything, boom, 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 by the time you're done, you're just gonna have a section, an open area that you pretty much just have to fill in black. And we will get there here as well as I work my way around, going around everything that needs, gone around. Control before I break. Killing frustration, have to do it all to survive the night. guess I should probably let you know I'm using the CNC Q2 for this tattoo. I'm currently using, again, an 11 curved bug pin mag, and I'm running around 8 volts. Anywhere from 7.8 to 8.1, 8.2 volts is about the voltage that I'm currently running. And here I went with a standard 15 magnum and filled in all of the black area.
You're killing me, you're killing me, you're killing me. Can't have enough, you're killing me, you're killing me, you're killing me. Can't have enough, you're killing me, you're killing me, you're killing me. When you fight against the tide and you're about to lose your mind, it's easy to cross the line. There's no answer as to why when you look down.
Next, I busted out a 3-round liner to line around and fill in this little silhouetted guy here, okay? Just kind of lined around it and filled it in as I went. Alright, now here I took that 3-round liner that I was using before and I just started going around things, started sculpting the details or whatnot, putting things in their place. And as we do that, we're filling in the black areas. Again, we're always trying to get that black in first, at least that's how I like to do it, and to help keep that piece together. Now, when I say putting your black, you also need to put your lines in if you have lines or whatnot. Towards the bottom here, the stencil got a little smudgy, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. I had to slow down here just a little bit. The other thing was the position was extremely uncomfortable after several hours. So eventually it came to the point where I would tattoo for 20 minutes, lay down for 20 minutes, tattoo for like 30 minutes, lay down for 20 minutes, just to relax the hip. And again, we're back to that 11 curved mag and filling in black. So again, in this portion here, it's kind of like we're lining our tattoo. Anything that requires black, we put it in now so that way it holds our structure, and then we can come back later and really make these things look nice now that they're not going anywhere on us. And again, we're still filling in the black here. As you can see here, guys, things start to slow down. I'm paying really close attention to the reference because the stencil's a little wonky at this point. There was a lot of ink or purple or whatever you want to call it that got a little smudged up in the front end. So I have to take my time and really look at the stencil to make sure that I'm putting things in the right spot. Simple as said. So that's what's happening here. That's why it takes me a little bit longer towards the front. Not to mention that it's quite a stretch trying to get your leg up here so you can tattoo the front of it. Hips aren't made for that. So keep in mind when you're doing that, that's gonna be something you're gonna have to deal with. The uncomfortableness of sitting for a while. Now here I'm running that mag sideways again, putting those marks in the grill on the front end. So here I'm just trying to get a gradation starting from behind the truck, we'll call it, and moving forward down this like wall that's behind it. And that's pretty much, I believe I used like 75% black, like right up close to the truck, maybe a 50%, and then just blended that out to I think like 25%. So that's a 50 to 25% blend. I went back and added a little bit of darkness here and there. And I'm really just building the shades up. So I start kind of lighter than I want, put that in, try to get those really light spots filled, then kind of add a little bit of darkness where I need it, and just slowly build these things up. And again, running that mag on its side to create lines and whatnot. And of course, my hat in the way there. I know you guys can't see this, but I'm starting the build, the leaning building, if you will. Later on, I kind of want to make it look like that might be falling, a little explosion or something. Not 100% sure yet, but there is going to be a session 2 where I get to butter some stuff up, smooth some things out, and add some highlights. And now I'm over here on this little like dome-like building, and just trying to create the blend that I'm looking for, the shade that I'm looking for. I know the center is the brightest point, so I start light, and as I work it, I compare it to the rest of the piece. And for me, it was like, a little darker, a little darker. You do want to be careful because you can go too dark too quickly. You want to trust that your tones are going in there, your lighter ones. And if you've been, you can't tell what's going on in an area, just jump over to another area for a little bit, let it calm down, and then go back over there, and you might be able to see things a little bit better than you did before when it was red and whatnot. Now that I have everything laid out, I put some black in my mag, and I'm going through and putting some depth in some of these places. Places that need to be darker than other places, I'm using that black to do that. Now that I've got everything in place, my background is pretty well done for this session. Now it's time to start shading the MRAP at the bottom, and later on we will get to the helicopter at the top. Down here, I think the darkest I went was like a 25% as far as shade goes, and then I went down to my 3 drop and my 1 drop here and there as well. So those are kind of the tones that I was using here. I think occasionally I might use a 50%, but for the most part, I'm rocking right around 25 and under for the shading inside this truck right here. Holding your leg in this position for a long period of time is painful. It's just more than the tattoo didn't even hurt in comparison to my hip and my knee. So when you are tattooing yourself and you're getting low on the ankle and you got to really reach up there, take your time as far as give yourself some breaks. It's gonna hurt. You need to walk it off a little bit, come back, 20 minutes of tattooing, 10 minutes of rest, because after a few hours, your hip and knee are going to hurt a lot. And that paper towel that I'm using, it is wet at this point. Everything's where I need it to be. I'm not worried about losing any stencil. So I have some distilled water on that paper towel. You could even put a little Bactine on there if you want, and that's just gonna help with the redding. It's gonna help just sort of numb the client just a little bit. Oh, don't get crazy with it. It's just like a little additional soothing agent, if you will. So here we're ready to go up to the helicopter and just start putting a little bit of shading into here to give things a little bit more curvature and appeal. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm using a very light 1 drop here in the beginning, and then I believe I drop to go up to a 25% and keep that closer to the edge. And that is that brushing motion I'm doing a lot in this tattoo. A lot of that brushing motion. And it seems like you're being extremely soft. You are being soft, but you also want to make sure those needles are penetrating. So when you come across, this is the skin. The needles are going inside the skin on that main pass and peppering out as you go. So just keep that in mind while you're doing it. We are being gentle in this game, but we're not being so gentle that ink's not actually going into the skin. So one more time, we used a 3-round liner, we used an 11 curved bug pin magnum, we used a 15 standard magnum. Those are the 3 needles. You don't even need to use all 3 of those. You could use a totally different set. That's just the set that I used for this tattoo. And here you see me wiping. This is pretty much the finished result for the day. I think I went back in and maybe touched a few things here and there. As I said before, we're gonna have another session in this tattoo, and I'll ensure that I record that so I can share that with you guys. In part of that session, we're gonna touch a few things up. We're gonna put some highlights in, and just anything that I dream up from now till then, we'll do on this tattoo. So stay tuned for that one. Also, if you wanna pick up a t-shirt, support the channel, go check out our t-shirts, links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell to get notifications when I post. And until next time, guys. Peace.